everybody. Hey, Jerry Landry from the Weathered Shed. Come on in. I have 3 cutie little IOD projects that I'm going to show you guys today. They are all part of the IOD gallery wall that I am working through and teaching you guys and demoing along the way. There are 22 pieces to this gallery wall, all made from one piece of sanded plywood. It's a 1/2-inch plywood. The cut diagram and everything can be found on ironorchiddesign.com for this particular gallery wall projects. And I am going to be doing 3 pieces today because they're very small. So come on in and say hello as you join. I'm just going to get you guys pulled up here on my iPad. I know that there is a bit of a delay. Like 40 seconds, I think the delay is now. It's something crazy like that. So say hello as you come in, just so I know that you guys can hear me okay. I have my bed head going on and it's all good, right? It's Sunday. It's one of those kinds of days. It don't matter. I know that you guys will love me just the way I am. And I'm drinking out of my Create mug today. So appropriate, right? So say hi as you come in. I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. I'm not seeing any comments. Let me see here. Say good morning. Sometimes you have to type in to Facebook in order for comments to come across. It's really, really strange. So let's see. Good morning, Linda. Yay, Linda is my first good morning comment. Cool, I can see that. Good, I hope you guys got something to drink, whether it's coffee or tea this morning. Maybe it's a Bloody Mary, right? Some folks like Bloody Marys on Sundays. Hello from Michigan, Sally. Thanks for joining. So again, if you've been following along, we're doing this IOD gallery wall. As the IOD sisters, Iron Orchid Designs sisters, come out with their gallery wall projects, I'm following up right behind them and doing a live demo for you guys so that you can ask your questions and things like that. I carry all of the Iron Orchid Design products on my website at theweatheredshed.com. This, if you missed it last week, this was the cool Birds, Branches, and Blossoms creation that I did on last week's live. And you can catch all of these demos in my videos. If you go into videos, I created a playlist so you could start right back from project number 1 and move forward if you missed any of them, okay? So it's the IOD gallery wall playlist is what you want to refer to. Hey Trish, good morning. All right, so I'm gonna flip you guys down to my surface here and just kind of tell you where I'm at and make sure I can see and everything's aligned good here. So what we're starting with, guys, is these, as you can see, these are very small little boards. We are going to be doing 3 of the pieces for the gallery wall. What's great is when you have all these different sizes and shapes of boards for your gallery wall, it makes an eclectic kind of look and it creates visual interest. So that we actually have a few pieces in the gallery that are actually going to be smaller than these. So yeah, so they're just cute little nuggets. I have already gone ahead and I've painted these in a creamy white, which is going to be the base coat for all 3 of these designs. The one's called Rose Toile, the other one's called Dragonfly, and the other one is called Seal because it is a coat of armors looking kind of a seal. And we are going to be, to accomplish all 3, we're only going to be using 2 of the Iron Orchid Design decor stamp sets. The first one is the Queen Bee set. And in this set, you guys can see right here, there is the coat of armors seal that we're going to be using for one of our boards. This cool seal right here. Isn't that neat? It's got like a lion and a horse head. And that's going to be one of the designs. The other one is going to be Rose Toile from the Rose Toile set. And we're also going to be using the Dragonfly for the Dragonfly board. So you just need the 2 stamp sets to create these 3 gallery wall creations, okay? So the first thing that we're gonna do is we are going to tape off our Dragonfly, and I wrote on the back so I don't get confused. Our Dragonfly and our Rose Toile, we're going to be creating a faux mat by using painter's tape. And before I get ahead of myself, I realize that I do need to get this one painted because I want it to dry while we're doing the taping. So on the seal, the coat of armor's seal board, we actually want to paint this entire board over the top of the cream. We want to paint it in a kind of a charcoal gray color. I'm using Lincoln's Hat, which I've been kind of using along the way if you guys have saw any of my other videos. So this is just American Paint Company. Chalk style paints work really well for these projects, guys, because you do some sanding and you want to be able to get through to your base color, and chalk style paints just lend to the ability of doing that with ease. Okay, so I am just gonna slap on some paint here, and I'm gonna get your edges as well. And this is the coat of armor's seal board that we're gonna be doing here for this one. So we just wanna coat the whole thing in this a nice charcoaly gray color, because if you watched any of my previous videos, on this particular one, we're actually going to be creating a faux linen texture with paint and sandpaper. So it's pretty stinking cool. I absolutely love that look and the texture. This whole entire gallery wall is going to be so stinking awesome when I'm done with it, because it just has so much visual interest, which is what you want when you're doing a gallery wall, right, guys? You want it to have a lot of visual interest. So I'm just getting all of my edges here. Say hello as you come in, guys. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what big plans you have for today besides watching me and paint dry. Oh. It actually started off early. I think in the night we had some rain, but right now it's actually, I think the skies are trying to break up, so Shabby Daddy is going to try and quickly mow our back lawn because we've been getting a lot of rain here in Wisconsin. All right, so I'm just going to set that cutie aside while that dries, and we're going to move on to the next project here. So let's see here. Put my brush in some water. All right, so let me get my paint crud off of here. Both of the, as I mentioned, the Dragonfly and the Rose Toile, we're going to be framing out. Now, if you guys saw my previous videos, you know how we do this. We do this with painter's tape and a straight edge. And we just want to measure in from the edge. On the Rose Toile board, we're going to go about 1/4 of an inch. So it's a very, very small, framed edge that we're going to be creating, a very narrow. So let me grab my pencil here. So I'm just using my straight edge. I'm going to measure in here. So we've got a half, about. I don't like this particular straight edge because it doesn't have all of the little, the little notches that really, 1, 2, tell me where my 1/4 inch is as easily as some of my other ones. All right, and you're just gonna mark across the board, again, 1/4 inch in, so you know where to lay your tape down, okay? So you can do this all the way around the board. So you know where to put your tape. This is Rose Toile is just 1/4 inch. I had to double check my notes. So on the Iron Orchid Designs blog site, they have the entire supply list that you need for these projects, I have gone ahead and I've actually copied those out onto a Word doc, and I've added step-by-step instructions. So if you end up purchasing these stamp sets from my shop site at theweatheredshed.com, just message me and I will also email you the Word document instruction sheet as well as a thank you for your purchase, so that you don't have to worry about doing that yourself. You can watch, but then you can watch the YouTube video or my video, but then you'd have to stop all along the way. So it's a little more convenient just to have it printed out and laying by your side with all of the supply list and the instructions, right? Okay, so Dragonfly is a little bit different dimensions. Dragonfly is actually 3/4 of an inch is what you're going to measure down. So 3/4 of an inch for this particular one. So this one's a little thicker of a border you're going to be making, which is really going to be cool. So just like that. So tell me about your fun plans for today. Anybody got any fun plans? Fun plans, or you just keeping today as a day of rest, which is, you know, what we're supposed to do, but that never works for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it's never a day of rest. I get too bored. I have to keep going. I have to keep doing stuff. I can't just laze around, which, you know, probably is not always a good thing. Even on vacation, I'm not one of these people that can just lay on the beach for hours at a time. I just never have been. I'd rather be walking the beach and enjoying the weather, or hiking and searching for things, but I've never been one to just totally let go and unwind. Anybody else? Anybody else like me, or am I just an oddball? Which could be the case. All right, so there we go. I got my boards marked. So next thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your, Trish says me too. Facebook's acting up. Oh, Linda. Yeah, there's my end looks really good, so it must be on your side, my dear. All right, so we are just going to take and we're going to place our tape on those lines like that, and you want it to run straight off the board because we're going to create some mitered corners with our tape, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. That one I went a little short. I'll use that one down here. And you guys know that I really, really appreciate when you show the love, and you guys know what that means. If there's any other folks out there that you think would enjoy this project and these products in general are just amazing. If you know people that are into DIY, crafting, amazing, amazing products. Okay, so you guys kind of see what I'm doing here. So I am going to be creating mitered corners with my tape. Like that. All right, so I'll put that one up here. So this is the Dragonfly one, and now I'm grabbing my Rose Toile. And remember, this is the one that has the thinner framed edge. So this is only like 1/4 of an inch. So nobody's telling me what they're doing today. Nobody has any plans that you want to share? Any fun things you're going to be doing? crafting. If it's rainy, those are always good days for crafting, right? Hey, Julie, good morning. Good morning. Sunday blessings to you, to all of you. All right. You're going to do some crafts today, Trish? That's awesome. Hey, you know, each and every one of us has a creative side, whether you think you don't or whether you think you do or not. It's just a matter of what type of creativity, right? That could be in the form of music, artwork, creating something out of nothing, right? All right, so there we go. So I am going to show you now what we do. We take our straight edge, okay, and we line our straight edge up here. Move this so you guys can see. I'll try and get you up a little closer here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm lining the corner of my straight edge up with the corner of the tape here, okay, on that outer edge, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my razor knife, okay, and I'm just going to cut the tape right there. So just gonna make sure I'm straight. So excuse my crazy hair in the way. All right. And then you're just gonna take your straight edge and run that right. Just, you don't have to press super hard, and you're cutting that tape off. Just pressing down enough to cut into the tape. And when you pull towards your straight edge, it helps kind of tear that edge nice and clean, like that. Okay, and you're going to do that all the way around. So see what that's doing? It's creating that nice, sharp, clean corner for your faux frame that you're making. We're creating a faux framed out picture using paint and tape, basically. Just like that. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I'm so blessed that I have all of these tools thanks to Shabby Daddy. Okay, just like that. Anybody watching, I know a few of you guys have purchased some IOD products from me before. I absolutely love them all, but I'd be curious to know what products you've used, if any, and what are your favorites. I don't know that I have a favorite. Like I said, they're just all amazing. And they all have their... You can just use them for so many different things. If you paint furniture, oh my goodness. The molds, the stamps, the transfers, all are great on furniture. Incredible. Okay, there you have it. Look at that. That's one down. So you guys can see what I mean. Nice clean corners so that when I go to paint it, it's going to create a very beautiful, beautiful clean frame look. And these are going in my home, so it's not like, you know, if they're a little off, it's any big deal. Because like I said, my home, I embrace imperfection. So, and these projects are definitely imperfectly perfect, right? They are all about creating almost like a vintage artwork kind of look. Handcrafted, hand painted pieces of art for your wall. So we definitely are not going for perfection. As a matter of fact, that piece that I did last Sunday, if you caught that, oh my gosh, my friend came over, my friend Barb, I don't know that she's on. My friend Barb came over last week and she said, oh my gosh, that looks like a vintage print. You know, like those prints that you see, the old prints. That's what she said it reminded her of. And she's absolutely right. I didn't even think about it. Once she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. It's like a vintage print that you would find at like, you know, an estate sale or something like that. Do I have any of my YouTube subscribers on today? If you aren't aware, I am on YouTube. You can also see all the videos out there as well that I do. In case you aren't a subscriber yet, just FYI. Building up my YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll be starting to do some lives from there eventually here. Okay. All right, there you go. Look at that. So I've got that one done, this one done. You love them all, and the molds and transfers, Trish says. Yes, they're all awesome, aren't they? Alrighty, so my next step, guys, is going to be to paint both of these outer edges in that same charcoaly black color that I used before, which is this Lincoln's hat. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna paint some of that on there. Let's see here. Just use my same little brush that I used before. You guys will have to ignore my doggies are barking. I apologize if you can hear them. They don't like it because Shabby Daddy is mowing, and they have to be in their fenced-in kennel area. So they're not happy, and they're barking about it. So probably the thing you got to be most careful with is just splattering onto your white surface of your other boards. Which I can get going and I get flinging paint, and Lord knows you better move out of the way because you will end up a different color. Oh. So this is all I'm doing is just getting paint on the edges here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're actually going to be doing some sanding and exposing some of that nice cream color underneath with a little bit of a distressed edge to these. And again, the reason that I like to use the chalk style paint is because it does dry fairly quickly. So that is a plus for sure. So both of these. And so this is nice being able to do all three of these because they're small and because you're starting with that cream base color coat anyway. You can just get them all your boards prepped and ready to go, and you're only using the 2 stamp sets. So you're using the Queen Bee and the Rose Toile, which I suggest you have both of those stamp sets in your arsenal anyway because they're so versatile. They're great for making coasters, for, again, stamping furniture. Oh my gosh, you guys, the ideas are endless. Stamping fabric. Yikes, the list goes on and on. Which is the reason I don't sleep, because my head just swims with ideas all the time. Anybody else? Oh, I ain't got no time for sleep when you've got all these cool things you want to create, right? There ain't no time to sleep. Sleep is overrated. All right. So there you go. So there's the Dragonfly and my Rose Toile board. All right, so let me get a baby wipe and wipe my hands off. So like I said, I wrote out the instructions. Good morning, good morning. Say hello, guys. I've got quite a few of you on here. Say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love to know that. And if this is your first time watching, let me know that as well. I am doing an IOD gallery wall. I'm doing projects 5, 6, and 7. This is the complete, all the pieces of the gallery wall. There's 22 pieces, and I'm doing every single one of them live with you guys, which is really so much fun. I just love that you guys tune in. Okay, so we're gonna do the, we're gonna get the wash on the Rose Toile. I'm just gonna be really careful because again, I painted the edges, but we're gonna do a wash in the center of the Rose Toile board now. Let me scoot Mr. Dragonfly out of the way here. We're gonna do a wash, and all it is a gray wash. So basically like 50-50 paint to water. And I had this jar of Dixie Belle, which is basically almost gone. So I added some water in there, and that is what we're going to use for our wash. It's kind of a dark, it's like a hurricane gray is the actual color, if you are interested in knowing. But it's I've got it very watered down, as you guys can see, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm just going to dab some on here, not even getting full coverage. I even used my charcoal gray, my Lincoln's hat black, mixed in with there. So, and now I have a shop towel. This is just dampened shop towel, not wringing wet, just damp. And you're just going to take and you're going to start blotting that around. Just try to stay away from your painted edge. All you're doing is this. You're just creating a dirty, antique-y looking washed background for your Rose Toile design. Okay? Going all the way to the edge of your tape. Because remember, again, when we pull the tape, you're going to have this nice faux frame built around. Okay? So you guys can see, look at all of the, let me try and lift this up so you guys can see this. Look at all the yummy texture. One of the key things when you're painting the base color of these boards, the cream color, you want, another reason for using the chalk style paint, it creates a lot of texture. So when I painted these boards, I did a nice cross hatching kind of motion. And that is what you want to do, because you want to get a lot of texture for your backdrop, okay? Because again, it just makes the outcome of your art piece that much better. And I'm gonna slap a little right there. I'm not liking that. So again, it's just important to have a lot of texture because you're creating visual interest. Now see what happened right there? Because I went back over it, I actually started pulling some of that gray off. So you can just keep going back over it, get it as light or as dark as you want. It's just all a matter of your own personal taste. There's no right or wrong way of doing this, okay? And I'm just gonna leave that like that. Because again, we're going over top of that with a stamp, all right? So let me put this aside, cover this up a little bit here. All right, so I'm gonna hit these with a blow dryer. You want your paint to be thoroughly dry, especially on this Dragonfly one, because, or the seal, I mean, because we are going to be creating a linen texture on it. All right. Okay, Rose Toile. We're gonna do the stamping on the Rose Toile first here. So you take your stamp set out, guys, and the very first thing you wanna do is you want to condition your stamps when you first use them, okay? Only the first time only. So you pull it out of the packaging and you take and you pull the back sheet off, okay? So this is exposing the side that is actually going to be stamping down. So just pull that sheet off, and we're actually gonna use that clear sheet as well, so just set that aside. And then you're gonna take your stamp, and to condition it, you wanna take a fine grit sandpaper, and you just want to rub across your stamp. You can see it'll start turning kind of like a matte. It goes from being real clear and shiny. It'll get like a matte haze over the top of your stamp, and that's what you want. You want to condition the stamp, and what this is doing is it's scuffing it up so that your medium, meaning your ink, your paint, your whatever you're going to use for your medium with the stamp, is able to grab and hold better, and you get a better impression. So you just want to kind of go in both directions. Again, just a fine sandpaper in both directions like this, and you will notice that it turns kind of like I said, a matte color, takes that shine off of the stamps from processing, and again will just give you a cleaner impression, okay? And that's all you do. All right, just like that. But this is how the Rose Toile looks. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? It has some of this scripted writing. So we're going to be using Rose Toile, and then we're also going to use the Dragonfly off of here as well. The Dragonfly one. So I am just going to kind of take my board, and I'm going to kind of play around with like hovering over top where I want to actually do my design. And this, again, matter of preference. I kind of like that there's want some white space in here. So I'm gonna kind of do it off the board here a little bit. You can see through, obviously, so you know where your tape line and everything is, but this will kind of give you an idea where to apply your paint. So we are going to use for this one kind of a russety red. I'm choosing to use just an acrylic paint that I had laying around. This is called Barn Red. So I thought this color would be really pretty. Thank you for the love, Barb, as always. I appreciate that. I'm just using a paper plate. Just gonna squeeze some out. Oops, had a little bit of goopy in there. And taking my IOD brayer, I love these brayers. You guys have heard me talk about them before. They're hard rubber, they're easy cleanup. I absolutely love them because you get a nice thin, you're able to get a really nice thin layer. If you use a foam brush, oftentimes what happens is the foam soaks up too much paint and then it ends up leaking down into your stamp design, and you don't get as nice of an impression. So you guys can see I just got a nice thin layer here. Set that aside, and then I'm going to take my stamp, and again I kind of know that I want to do this section right here in the middle. So I'm just going to brayer that up like so with my acrylic paint. This is just a matte acrylic, cheapo paint, guys. You can get it anywhere. Walmart, your local craft store, nothing fancy or schmancy about it. Okay, so I've got my nice little coat on there. And again, I'm gonna hover over where I want to lay it down. And you are gonna go off the edge a little bit onto your taped or framed area. Just take a baby wipe and wipe that off. So once you commit, you don't wanna shift. You just want to lightly press that area, again, where you have your paint inside the framework here. And you probably won't even get much on that outer edge if you don't press out there. So, okay. Just like that. And lift. Oh my goodness. Oh, is that gorgeous? Ah! Look at that. Look how beautiful. Oh my goodness. That is so stinking gorgeous. Ah! Holy cow. That looks like old tapestry or something, right? Ay, ay, ay. Beautiful. My goodness. So I'm just going to take my baby wipe and I'm going to wipe off my stamp just because I will, for right now, while I'm out here working, I'll take these in the house afterwards, guys, and you can just wash them up with warm soap and water. Really easy cleanup for your stamps. But you do want to make sure that you take care of them because you want them to last, right? And oftentimes a nice little an old toothbrush works really great to get down in the cracks and crevices. As well on these, and I'm also going to wipe off my brayer real quick. Cleanup is also part of demonstrating, right, guys? You got to make sure you know how to properly clean your tools. But I just like to use a baby wipe on my brayer as well when I'm in between things so that I don't have to worry about the paint sticking too tightly that I can't get it off when I go in to clean it. All right, so I'm gonna put those. I'm starting to get a pile of my rags here. All right, so that is the Rose Toile. So I'm gonna set that up here, and then I'm gonna show you guys the next step on the Dragonfly. So for the Dragonfly background, you want to have a kind of a gray or a green, like a green, blue-green kind of, or a light green, whatever, you know, whatever your preference is. There's no, again, no right or wrong. So I'm actually going to take and mix. I wonder if I should use my, let me grab something to mix in, guys. I thought I had another, hang on just a second. I save up, I don't know about you guys, but I save up all my plastic containers, like from Parmesan cheese and Parmesan cheese and from sour cream containers, those kinds of things. I save them up. And the reason is because I always like to use them for things like this, for mixing my paint colors. So I am using, again, inexpensive folk art and apple barrel. You can get these anywhere, guys. I think a lot of times they're 99 cents or less for these containers. And I'm going to mix, I thought these two colors would be really pretty together. This is like it's called Dutch Aqua. I don't even need my cup there. But I'm gonna take and mix Dutch Aqua with some green here. You don't need a ton because obviously this Dragonfly space is very small. So you don't need a ton of paint to cover it. Just gonna put a little green in there and then I'm gonna mix that and see what I think about the color that I come up with. Where is my little paintbrush? Where did you go? Yeah, we'll use this one, that's fine. So I'm gonna mix this, just blend it together. Ooh, yeah, so it's creating this really nice vintagey green color by mixing those two, which I love. It's not too teal. Can you guys see that? I'm actually gonna put another dollop of the green in there because I like that. Teeny drop will do ya. And I'm also going to take and spritz a little bit of water in here as well, like that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna paint over this. And I didn't make sure my edges were down, which you guys will want to do. I forgot about that. Pressing, making sure that your painted edges press down really well because you don't want to get any bleed under there. If you do, you can just touch it up with a small paintbrush later on. But Isn't that a pretty color, guys? You want full coverage on this particular one, but again, it doesn't need to be like super duper heavy. Just like that. All right, set that aside. Just like that. And let me hit this with a blow dryer. I'll help speed it up a little bit. I'm liking that color though. It's very, like I said, a vintagey green. Very light green with just a hint of that teal in there. Okay, put that one up here. And I'm gonna grab, this is the coat of armor's seal that we're gonna be doing on this one. Again, we have to open up our stamp set. This is the, again, if you came on late, Queen Bee. I love, love, love this set. There's so many pieces and parts. It's so stinking cool. So you just wanna open this one up as well. And we're only using that one small component of this set, but I'm just gonna condition it while I have the whole thing on the sheet. Makes it a little easier. So again, I'm pulling off the back sheet, like so. Taking my fine grit sandpaper, and again, just pulling and dragging across the surface of the entire stamp. Like that. And this is called conditioning, and you want to go in both directions. The detailing, you guys, in all of IOD's products is just amazing. If you've not used their products, you will know what I'm talking about the first time you use them. There is just nothing like them on the market. The attention to detail is stinking awesome. They're gorgeous. Every single thing you create with their product will turn out amazing. I guarantee you that. And again, you can get these on my website at theweatheredshed.com. So this is the coat of armor seal that we're going to be using. But look at you guys. Look at the detailing in that bee. Is that not the coolest thing? So you could take these elements and use the typesetting stamp set. You could do Be Humble with a bee. All kinds of things that you could do, creating words and things like that. So Donna, these are stamps, my dear. Not silk screen transfers. Completely different. Okay, so I am just now going to take and I'm going to peel off my coat of armors, because again, this is the only piece that we're going to use. Okay, so I'm taking that away from the Queen Bee stamp set here, and I'm going to take and I'm going to place it down on my board. Okay, I'm going to kind of center it where I want it. All right, like that. And then all you do is you take that sheet that you pulled off, and you can use this as your tool for stamping with. So I'm just gonna press down so that I have this now as my stamping tool, okay? So I'll put that aside because we need to create our linen look first here. So in order to do the linen look, guys, you need your straight edge again, and you also want to have a piece of heavier grit sandpaper. So I am using a 60 grit. You can use a 60 or an 80. And I'm taking my straight edge, I'm lining it up here in about like 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And all I'm gonna do is you hold that down as my guide, and I'm taking my sandpaper and I'm pulling it. I'm using that edge as my guide because I want to create straight lines across my black paint like that. See how I did that? Okay, And then I'm gonna move my straight edge and I'm gonna continue to do that across the entire board. We are creating a faux linen look. So keeping your lines straight is important to achieve this look, okay? And you're just gonna do the whole board like that. Now, if your sandpaper gets gummed up like this, you want to turn and use a clean edge so that you continue to get those nice lines. Otherwise, the paper gets gummed up and you don't get the nice lines like you want, okay? So just keep turning and checking your paper so that you're getting those nice lines, all right? Like that, okay? See what's happening here? Now I'm gonna turn my board and I'm gonna run it the other direction. You guys know what linen looks like, right? It kind of has that really fine cross hatch kind of look to it. That's what you're doing here. We're trying to mimic the look of linen as the backdrop for this particular stamp. Just like that. That makes sense to everybody? Anybody have any questions? Any questions for me while I'm doing this? Pretty straightforward, right? Pretty easy to do. Oops, I'm gonna get that little corner again here. Like that. See guys, look at that. See what I'm talking about? How that looks like faux linen? Beautiful, right? Look at that texture. Isn't that amazing? That is amazing. Okay, so now we are going to take our stamp, our coat of armor stamp, and we're going to cover it with the creamy paint color. Same color you used as your base. That's what you want to use for your brayering onto the stamp, okay? I just happen to use Dixie Belle Buttercream for my base coat. So that is what I'm going to do for my brayer here. Okay, so again, just take your brayer, run it through here. Get a nice thin coat onto your brayer. And if you get too much, just like brayer it off, you know what I mean, onto a clean area of your palette surface, whatever you're using. I just grabbed a paper plate this morning, and then you just brayer that on. Get complete coverage of your design, like so. Okay. And then you're gonna hover over the top and just place it right down in the center, guys. Don't shift, commit, gently rub. And it's nice with these sheets when you use these sheets too to help you because your fingers glide across it really nice. They don't stick to it, causing you to, to shift the image. So it works really well. Look at that. Now, if you wanted heavier coverage than that, you could, just put your paint on a little thicker. But look I love that it's not fully covered. Look at how gorgeous that is. It truly looks like a vintage piece of art, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so stinking cool. You guys have got to try these. You guys have got to try these projects. You are going to love them. I guarantee you. They're just stinking amazing. 22 of these you guys are going to get to see me do. And if you do decide to make a few of these on your own or all of them, please, please, please share your photos with me because I'd love to share them on my page. Oh, they're so cool. All right, so that is the coat of armor seal. This is pretty much done, guys. The last step that you would do on this particular one is you would let this dry, and then you will take a light wax and you will wax it, which will really make that linen look pop. So that one is completely finished. Rose Toile is almost finished. We have to pull the tape yet and do a couple things on that one. I'm gonna move back to our Dragonfly one here. And we pulled, let me see, did I pull the Dragonfly off? No, I didn't yet. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the Dragonfly off of the sheet, because again, it's just gonna be the Dragonfly. He is front and center on this particular design. Okay, and we are going to, again, lay him down in the center of that taped in area. And you could do whatever you want. Maybe I want to put him on an angle. I do. I want to put him on an angle. And again, take your sheet and you're going to use that as your stamping tool. And we also sell thin mounts, guys. They're, what are they, 11 by 14 thin mount sheets you can purchase as well and use those for applying your stamps. All right, and we're gonna go back to using, what are we using on this one? We're gonna be using the gray again on this one. Where's my gray? Oh, I had it back here. I'm gonna grab my other jar because I watered that one down. I don't want it watered down. I just want straight gray. So hang on, guys. All right. So I've got my other can of Dixie Belle. Hurricane Gray, again, is the color that I'm using. Just gonna stir this up a bit. And it's a nice dark gray, which will look great on that blue, that blue-green color that I've used here. I'm gonna wipe my brayer off again before it dries here. I'm just using baby wipes, guys, like I explained earlier, and then I will take these in and wash them in the sink with warm soap and water. These and the stamps, you can just wash them right up. Oh, and they also are, if any of you guys are bakers or confectionery candy kind of thing, these are all food grade safe. They're amazing for cake stamping. Holy cow. You talk about setting yourself up to another level and setting yourself apart from other creators out there. Holy buckets. All right. This product will do that for you. So, alrighty. Taking my brayer again, guys. Loading up my brayer. Normally I have press and seal. If you guys have watched me before, I usually use press and seal on a board, and then that becomes my palette for brayering, which works out really well, but I didn't have, I'm out of press and seal. I had to add that to my shopping list. So we're just getting that little dragonfly nice and covered there. Okay. If you end up getting any of the paint onto your plastic, your film, just wipe it off with a baby wipe. Okay, and again, I'm just going to center over that image, lay it down. Whoops, I might have shifted there. Press them down, lift up. Coolio, coolio. Taking and wiping off my stamp again. Set that aside. All right, so he is gonna dry. And we're gonna go over to our Rose Toile now, guys. The only thing that we need to do on this one, and I am gonna reference my instruction sheet because I wanna make sure that I remembered everything on the Rose Toile. And if, like I said earlier, if you guys end up buying the stamp sets and you'd like the instruction sheets, just put that in your order. There's a field that you can type in notes, and then I will email you the instruction sheets. So for the Rose Toile, all we're gonna do is we're gonna distress the frame edge with a fine grit sandpaper. So grab my sandpaper again. Okay, and we're gonna pop that color, guys. We're gonna pop the edge. See, this is why you want the cream color as your backdrop, because we're popping the edge of the frame and the sides. Again, just creating some visual interest, right? That's what this is all about. See how that is just popping those corners, and you can see that nice cream edge in there? That's what you want to do. And get your sides a little bit as well. Okay. And then you're going to take your straight edge and you're going to carefully find the corner of your tape, guys. Being careful not to like gouge your surface, but just use that to help find that edge of your tape so that you can pull it up, okay? And even if you gouge it a little bit, again, you can just paint over it. It's not a big deal. And then we're gonna pull our tape. This is the most satisfying part of the whole project, you guys. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh, that is so awesome. So you guys can see my edges aren't perfect. They're, you know, my tape, when I cut it, it wasn't perfect, but I don't care. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork. Look at that. Look at how amazing that is. And again, all you're gonna do now is take some light wax, and you're gonna lightly go over this and really pop the colors and the full frame on here. But isn't that gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh. So stinking beautiful. I'm gonna put that up here because we're gonna do our final step on our Dragonfly, which you could skip this step if you're not wanting to add any bling to your piece. But the IOD sisters instruct that you add gold gilding or gold leafing paint around the edge of this. I, however, did not have any like gold leafing type of paint, but I do have this bright gold. Okay, this is an actual just metallic matte metallic finish acrylic paint, and I also have this color, which is called bronze metal, and this is a Rust-Oleum metallic. So I thought, how interesting would this be to kind of blend the two a little bit and use that as my trim border. So again, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do the gold. You could do copper. You could do just the bronze by itself. It just is all in what you want to do, your own personal preference. So I'm going to take, and that's what I'm doing, I'm going to try mixing because I'm a rebel that way. And I think it will look cool. Let me grab what do I got here? I need something to get some paint out with. Bear with me, guys. You know, when you do these projects, you always think you're prepared, and there's always something missing. All right, so I need this and this, and I want a small paintbrush here. Okay. So let's see what color we come up with. I kind of like, I always think it's fun too, mixing colors. It's always interesting to see the outcome, right? When you mix a couple colors together. So I'm gonna try this gold. I'm guessing it's just gonna tone down the brightness. Oh yeah, ooh, beautiful. See, you never know until you try, and I am loving that. I wasn't really into the whole really bright. This is making it more of like an antique gold color. See what's happening here? I'm really liking that a lot. Isn't that pretty, guys? That is gorgeous. So I'm gonna put a little more in there, and then I think we will be good. It's always fun mixing and creating new colors, I think. And again, you know, all of these projects are really, you know, your own interpretation. You don't have to do exactly as the IOD sisters. You can make yours a little different and unique. My very first one that I did, they actually used the Rose Toile transfer, and I didn't. I used one of the, I think it was Ladies in Waiting flowers versus the Rideau transfer. So you can just, you know, make it unique and make it your own. All right, so for this particular section, we're not doing full coverage on the black with the gold, guys. The idea is to kind of create you're gonna come to the corner and kind of leave a little bit of the black showing. So almost like creating another, like another mitered corner off of where your tape is. And you can kind of see where your tape edge is. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're just gonna use a flat brush and kind of drag it across. All right, you wanna come up to the edge of your tape, but again, not full coverage, guys, because that's what's making this look so cool. You don't want it to be perfect. All right, so at your corners, again, you're just kind of gonna come to the corner. You're gonna leave a little bit of the black showing there. And then just drag the paint out, if that makes sense. Kind of just emphasizing that, that miter there again. It's kind of hard to see the tape, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So fun! Oh my gosh, I'm loving this vintage gold look. How about you guys? Isn't it cool? And if you want to paint it full, by all means paint it full. I mean, if you want it to be all gold, paint it all gold. Don't have to do, again, what they are doing is just a guideline. Okay, and you want to get your edges too. It's going to definitely look like a vintage piece of art. What do you guys think? Are you like, I'm not so sure I like that? It's okay, be honest. Might not be for everybody. But you know what? It sure got me to step outside my box doing these projects, because I would have never in a million years think of doing these kinds of things if it wasn't for the sisters laying them out. And I'm like, I've been blown away by a couple of things, guys. Really, like, I mean, the first one that I made, holy cow, like free painting a shape like a vase. I was like, I can't do that. And I absolutely did it. And it turned out so cool. All right. The acrylic paints too dry really quick, guys, so you can see this is like already dry. I've got it thick right here. Barb says I love it. Liz says, I love it. Julie says, nice. Anne Marie says, pretty. She loves the gold. Yeah. And I do like that I created my own gold, you guys, with just paint I have laying around. All right, where is my razor knife? There it is. Okay, so again, you're gonna take your razor knife, find the edge. You can kind of feel it with your finger. The edge of your tape. And just, again, gently find that edge and lift your tape. Get a corner coming up here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Ah! So cool! So stinking cool! Look at this. And you can, again, take your fine grit sandpaper, guys, and pop some of that black on the corners if you want, or go down to the cream. You can sand the center, the Dragonfly, down a bit. Sand away some of that green color. Holy cow. Is that not cool or what, you guys? Look at how stinking cool that turned out. See how antique-y that looks? And the faux corners that you created. The other thing that I had forgotten to do, I realized that I forgot to do, on the Dragonfly is they do say that you can put like a chiseled line effect in here to create your kind of a shadowing effect for the matte, which I will actually go in and do just freehand. But I'll take a teeny little paintbrush, paint along an inside line with the dark gray, the same color that I used for the Dragonfly. So yeah, so here you have it, guys. Let me just try and get these all laid out together so that you can see them, hopefully. How cool are these? How stinking cool are these? Can you guys see them all in there, I hope? Look at that. So these are 3 more pieces for my gallery wall. Amazing, amazing. I am really happy with how they turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And again, if you purchase the stamps and just put in your notes online that you would like the written instruction sheets, I will be happy to mail them along with your stamp set. So thanks everybody for joining. And again, stay tuned because I have another gallery wall project coming up. Probably it'll be 2 weeks because I won't be getting home until Sunday next week because I will be out of town. So, all right, guys, thanks again. Have a great rest of your day. Love y'all. Bye-bye.